Bum 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 bum. The Peter Like Show. Bum 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 bum. All right. Please continue to pray for me by singing along with me, gesturing at your screen, and hitting one of the prayer buttons on your screen. Let's do it again. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Like Show. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Like Show. Bum 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 bum. All right. Well, May is coming to an end, and something happened this week that made me really appreciate something that happened last summer. You see, last summer I was cursing a lot because I had a really bad case of COVID and also the long term symptoms, long COVID, during the summer heat wave. It was 110, 115 degrees. And getting COVID during the heat wave wasn't the worst part of it, actually. The worst part is the hostility that we get here in society, right? So let me give you an example of hostility. I was at San Francisco Airport not that long ago. I had flown from Phoenix to, no, from Taipei to San Francisco. I was just about to transfer to a flight to Phoenix. And I didn't realize you weren't allowed to push these carts into the TSA line, right? I pushed my cart there. It's not a big deal, right? It's not a bomb. It's not a gun. You know, the agent could have very gently pointed out, and instead he barked, "Sir, you can't bring that in there," as if it were a weapon. The way he should have reserved that kind of tone for when somebody actually brings a weapon in there, right? But it's just very hostile. Now, granted, I wasn't ill at the time. Weather was good during that time. But you throw that kind of hostility to when you're already dealing with trouble. So a couple days ago, I had to go replace my car. I was driving a Kia Forte. It finally died. The engine seized up. It had traveled one light second, and for the last 50, 60,000 miles, it was burning a lot of oil anyway. And also the interior had seen better days, so I wasn't too disappointed. But it's still something I have to do. I prayed really hard to please don't let the outside world be too hostile to me. I can't deal with that kind of barking orders at me, screaming at me. Do I insist on bringing a cart where I shouldn't? No. But what I don't like is when people are hostile about it, right? Do I insist on breaking other kinds of rules? Do I? No, I don't. I don't. But I prefer good communication, work together, right? Um, I guess next time I go to some other country, I could try bringing a luggage cart where I shouldn't to see how other countries react. Maybe I'll even do a documentary. I'll go back to San Francisco, do it again, have him bark. Hopefully, it's not the same officer because he'll know that I did it intentionally, and have some body cams, right? And then do it in Taiwan as well. Maybe do it in Europe a few times, Canada, Mexico, and just body cam record the world's reaction to that, right? And show the difference, right? I got to do that at some point. That would be a fun experiment, and I could make some waves about it. I really should. Now, on a good day, that stuff usually doesn't bother me, right? But you never know if the person you're barking at is recovering from COVID, their car just died, they just lost a family member, they're on there, especially at an airport, right? The percentage of people at an airport who are on their way to a funeral is probably on the high side of things, right? Or to some kind of unpleasant event, right? Um, so the airport would be the last place where you would expect to see people in good moods, right? And so anyway, there's a lot of hostility, but I'm glad I ran into it, and here's why. It inspired me to network more with people. And 2 days ago, when I was dealing with the car troubles, granted, I did have to go car shopping by myself. It was still 100 degrees out there. But just knowing that I could pick up the phone and call somebody gave me a lot of comfort. Did I end up calling my friend? Not really, actually. but just knowing that it's there, it had a big difference, had a profound difference in the way I tackled it, right? And I also recently started chatting with, believe it or not, Mary Curry's granddaughter, Helene, and I also met the girl on Bumble that I met on Bumble when I was in Taiwan. We kind of hit a higher gear, I want to say, this past week. I hate to spill the beans just yet because it's kind of ongoing. And then there was, I started building my Legos, and my first project was the Palace of Culture and Science. And so I had already started chatting with this other Polish celebrity. I hate to talk too much detail because it's also ongoing. And ever since I did the Lego piece, she was impressed, and everything kind of got kicked to a higher gear too. And it all started because somebody, anonymous person, gave me long COVID last summer. Um, and it's inspiring me to do that social experiment that I was describing of going to different countries and breaking a minor rule to see how people I really got to do that body cam and all that and put it on YouTube. US, Canada, Germany, China, Taiwan, same rule broken, how people handle it. I really got to do that. I really got to do that. I really have to. This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.